Yes, I am been entrusted to talk about the last plane. We left off with the adolescent, and the whole life of the adolescent should be organized in such a way that it will enable him, when the time comes, to make a triumphal entry into social life, not entering in debilitated, isolated, or humiliated, but with head high and assured of himself. So at 18, they're all ready to go. Nah, science says something different. That's what Maria Montessori quoted. But the science, now that we've been able to study the brain, says otherwise. She said that the plane of maturity is easygoing, all that stuff. But at 18, guess what? Your brain's not developed yet. Studies now say to 25 before it's fully developed. And you know, times before, at 18, people were out in the workforce, they were starting their families, they were doing all this. They had no idea, but they didn't live so long, so it was okay. But, but nowadays, you know, we're sending them off to college to fend for themselves. If they've had a Montessori education like we've heard, they're pretty good to go. They've had all those practical life lessons, they know how to be social, they know how to be that, but the general population is not as lucky. So they're ready to fulfill some of their needs, human needs of useful lifelong work, and they look for things that fulfill them. But they're operating without the frontal lobe developed, which is not a good thing.
Which explains
that means
they vote.
That's right.
And go to war.
That means that some people may have major struggles with impulsive decisions and planning behavior to reach a goal. The brain's reward system tends to reach a high level of activation during puberty, then gradually drifts back to normal activation when a person reaches roughly the age of 25. So they still have some of that crazy puberty things going on. And the frontal lobe. Okay, frontal lobe is about executive functioning. Things like you're able to assess risk. You can think ahead. You can evaluate yourself and know what you're doing and what you're up to. You can set goals and you can regulate emotions.
I know a few people who missed that stage.
Well, what's true is, so at about 25, you know, and every person's different, individual. Some of my studies said that men mature at about 43, and women 11 years earlier. So there's still some maturity going on, and basically all is not lost. But realize, well, some people are little late bloomers, so there's still hope.
I know Joey's not there.
But, you know, just to realize, you know, the kids were sending off and allowing to vote, allowing to drink, allowing to drive, allowing to get married, and other social things they do. Yeah, right. That they're just not there yet. And I know personally with my son, I held on and kept saying, oh, 25 is going to come eventually. And it was very interesting that a little over 25, he started talking rationally. And some of the stuff I'm going, wow. So it does make sense. But it's amazing that she still had that as one of the planes. She could have stopped at 18, but how wise Maria was to think there was still something going on and needed to be taken care of. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks for